Hello and welcome to the lesson 5 of the CSS series. This lesson is about border properties. So, not to waste too much time, I'm gonna go through border width, style, color, the shorthand property, and in the end, border radius. Besides that, I'm gonna explain to you how the values work, because you can define either all four sides of the border, but you can specify uh, different different properties, different values for each side of your borders. So we have three boxes that we're gonna use in the examples. So here are them. Let's start working. Don't mind the shorthand now. The shorthand is a way of specifying border width, border style, and border color in one property. I'm going to explain this better after I explain each one individually. Just so you can see, we have 1 pixel, 3 pixels, and 5 pixels borders. That's what is being displayed here. So let's start with border width. This is basically the size of your border, the thickness of your border. So we can have a really thin border, like 1 pixel, or we can have a larger one with 10 pixels. And this is really intuitive. The larger the amount of pixels, the thicker your border is going to be. So next property is border style. Border style have several different kinds of values. I'm gonna show you the most used ones, that is dashed. As you can see in the second box, this is a dashed border. We have dotted border. We also have double border. Double border. I'm gonna increase the width so you can actually see the double border better. So that's how it really is. And of course we have the solid, that is the most common border style. Here is the solid. So let's leave it dashed as an example of visualization, and let's move to the next property, border color. This is exactly what it says, like the color of the border. We are defining it to red. We can use the name of the color, red, black, green, or we can use the hexadecimal, like A5, A5, A5. I don't really know what color is this. Or we can use RGB. For example, this is another way of displaying colors. This is really up to you. Let's stick with red. And then I'm gonna explain the border shorthand property. This is really useful because you can define all those three properties, width, style, and color, within the same property. So I can define 5 pixels, dashed, and green, and this box is gonna become 5 pixels, dashed, sorry, let me remove this because this is overriding, but here, 5 pixels wide, dashed, and green. This is how you're gonna define your borders most of the time. But we have some differences. This border comment only allows you to define all four sides at the same time. For example, you can see that the top, right, bottom, and left are all in the same format. We can use this shorthand comment with one side. For example, top. Border top is the same as border, but only for the top side. So we are only gonna have the top of the comment, and it's the same for bottom, right, or left. This border bottom, top, and all sides also work with border style, border width, and border color. So for example, we can say that we want the top border to be solid. So what we have here, we here have the top border solid and the other ones dashed, as we previously have defined it. This is commonly used to when you want on one side to be different from all the others. And as the last part of the borders, we have a way of specifying different sides. So let's go back to the style border and let's use multiple values. For example, dashed all four sides. Let me go to the comments part again. Here we have a small explanation. One value means all sides, four corners. Okay, but two values means height and width. So how does this work? Dashed and solid, two values. Here, height, so top and bottom are dashed, left and right are solid. This is how multiple values work with border. Not only border, we have different comments that follow this order, such as padding and margin, but let's not get into it now. We also can define three values. Let's add double. What's gonna happen is that this is gonna be top, this is gonna be left and right, and this is gonna be bottom. Sounds quite confusing, but this is a way of defining the side, the left and right to be the same, but the top and bottom different. And of course, you can specify each of your sizes in a different manner. So now we have four different border styles. The order, as I have wrote here, is always gonna be top, right, bottom, and left. So it starts like a clock. It's a clockwise set of values. So top, right, bottom, and left. Always think as a clock. This set of values work for border style, for border width, or for border color. Let me quickly show you. Green, blue, red, yellow. Ta-da. All dashed, but the colors are different. So let's now proceed to the last property, border radius. This border, 1 pixel, solid and green is going to be our basis. So 5 is better. Okay, this border radius works with rounded corners. This is the definition of the property, to round your corners. So you set a value. So here we have 5 pixels, and the higher the value, the more rounded your corner is going to become. So this is a slight round in the corner of your box. 5 pixels, we can have 20, more rounded. We can have 50, even more rounded. And we can have 100. That is almost a circle. You want a circle? 500. And now our box is a circle. So this is how border radius work. You can combine border radius with the other properties. Let's say border style dashed, and we have a dashed circle. But so we can finish this lesson, I'm gonna explain to you how the values of the border radius works. It's slightly different from the other border comments. That's why I left border radius to the end. If we specify one value, let me go back to 20. If we specify one value, it works for all 4 corners. But if we specify 2, it works for top left, bottom right, top right, and bottom left. The easier way to understand border radius is to think as a cross. So if you draw a cross in here, this is gonna be your first line of the cross, and this is gonna be your second. So top left, bottom right, top right, bottom left. Why am I talking about cross? Because if you go to 3 values, let's be really let's add 100 pixels so we can see even better. We are gonna change the same way as the previous example. This value is gonna be the first, this value and this value are gonna be the second, and this one is the third. So top left, the 2 of them, and bottom left. And of course, if you define all sides, you are using the same clockwise order. So starting here, you go to your right and get back here. So I really hope you understand this. I made this lesson a little longer because I knew that border looks simple, but there's some slightly difference, some slight singularities that it's worth explaining a little better so you can really understand what you're doing and not just simply try and not gonna work, let's try again and let's Google it. This is the real purpose of this lesson, to make you understand what you're doing. So thank you very much for your time. I hope you appreciated this lesson. We will see you next time. Thanks very much again, and bye.